Welcome to Using Holiday Parties to Build Your Social Circle. This is part of my 10 at 10 series. This is like the Cliff Notes TLDR quickie version of some pointers to try and live more of the life that you want to live. As we're getting settled in, how do you get prepared to go to a party? Now, that might mean like when we were in college and all the girls on my floor would open up their doors and turn on music really loud while they're doing their makeup and doing their hair. And in those days, lots of hairspray. Don't necessarily mean that, but I don't not mean that. So let me know how you get ready for a party. While you're thinking about that, I'm Colleen Newvine. I'm your host for the day. I'm a trained, experienced, certified coach. I'm also an experienced party host and also a guest at a lot of parties. I have lots of practice chatting up strangers. I've also hosted networking events where I try to help people make those connections. What does going to parties better even have to do with being a coach? It's a really important part of living a happy, healthy life to feel connection. We need more joy in our lives. We need more relationships in our lives. And holiday parties are one of the ways that you can do that. And I see in the chat, shower, dress up, maybe a pre-party drink, and then a plus one for that idea. So as a reminder, if you're getting ready for a party, we might have a natural resistance to leaving our home if it's really cozy and comfy. If you remember from like high school physics class, a body in motion tends to stay in motion, a body at rest tends to stay at rest. If you're there, breaking that gravitational pull of the couch can be hard. And so remembering that, like, maybe those girls in my dorm had it right. Like, I put on sequins at 10 a.m., which isn't my usual move because I wanted to be in a party frame of mind. So once you start getting moving, put on something that feels like you're going to a party. It can help. There's this interesting study that shows that doctors don't just wear white coats for how it presents to you. It's what it signals in their own brains about the weight and the gravitas of being a doctor. We can do the same thing with a party dress, with your ugly Christmas sweater, whatever it is. You may also, while you're doing that, while you're trying to like get in your party frame of mind, um, set an intention for how you want to be at your party. So, do you want to be helpful? Are you going to just be quiet? Are you setting the intention? I'm only going for an hour because it's an obligation, but I'm telling myself I'm staying for 1 hour. Whatever that is, like be intentional about setting that plan. Maybe also do some homework on your hosts, the guests you know. If there are people you know you see every year, take a minute to look at their Instagram so you know that they're new grandparents. It's going to help you get in that frame of mind of this is not just a duty, but I'm going to go there and I'm going to connect. I also love choosing a conversation starter for a party. So here's an example. A few years ago, I had this necklace made. I don't know if you'll be able to read it, but it says, go to the light, be the light. Those were phrases that came to me in a meditation experience. And I liked having the sort of talisman of remembering that vision. I would wear that necklace to parties. And then if someone asked, oh, what's your necklace say? I sort of had this story to engage them in what it meant to me. Now we're talking about something besides the weather and what I do for a living and aren't these pigs in a blanket good? So think about what might invite someone into a conversation with you. You can also prepare some better questions. So people love to hate on small talk, but it has a function. It's how you and I sort of do the animals sniffing each other dance to figure out, do I enjoy talking to you? Do we maybe share the same values? Do we have the same sense of humor? And I'm not going to walk up to a stranger and say, like, hi, let me talk to you about my childhood trauma, right? Like, we stay up here while we're doing that dance. It's part of the reason we talk about the weather or what do you do for a living, because we're looking for an easy topic that the other person also might have something to say about. But choose a different question. Here are a couple of examples. My friend Monica loves to ask, what are you geeking out on? And I love it because, like, it sort of presumes that we're all geeking out on something. What, like, not just what do you find meaningful this year, but like that inner 8-year-old energy of like, I'm super into the new Avengers movie, or I really like to collect stamps. Everybody's got something. Think of your own. Like, what if you got a divorce settlement from Jeff Bezos? What's the first thing you would donate to? Or if you could give teenage you one piece of advice, what would that be? Like, what's a conversation you think would be fun and juicy, and there's a high likelihood that a stranger would be able to participate? Also, think about giving better answers. So if the person you're talking to asks, so how do you know the hosts? You could say, oh, well, we used to work together. Oh, that doesn't give me a lot of material to work with. So think like you're in an improv scene and you want to give that other person enough points of entry that there's something they might be able to like return volley on. So, for example, I was at a gathering earlier this week and someone asked, how do you know our hostess? I said, my husband worked with Rachel at Michigan Radio about 25 years ago. She helped get him his job there. Then I went to business school with her at Michigan about 20 years ago. You can decide to talk about old friends, or I knew someone who worked at Michigan Radio, or, oh, did you get your MBA at Michigan? Me too. So many things they can pick up and follow besides just, oh, we've known each other for a long time. Someone asks, where are you from? This might be my answer. John grew up in North Muskegon. I grew up in Saginaw. We were in Ann Arbor. We moved to New York. We just moved back in March. Look at all the points of entry that you might find. What was it like to live in New York? What's it like to move back? Oh, what's your house like? Any one of those that lights you up, you can choose. You can also pick some topics in advance. This is almost like media training, right? What are 3 things you'd have fun talking to someone about? Maybe it's the thing you're geeking out on, but you'd like to do it in more of a proactive way. Like, I just came from Pilates. I never thought I'd be a Pilates girl. Turns out I love it. Is it something you're passionate about? Is it a hobby where you'd love to find other people who dig what you're into? Have you just learned a great knock knock joke? And if things are not sparking up, you can drop that in. The author David Sedaris says you should always have a good dirty joke in your pocket. It's not going to be appropriate maybe at the office Christmas party, but maybe the neighbors would love to hear your dirty joke. So Melissa says in the chat, I started planting myself near the entrance, especially in overcrowded gatherings, because you see everyone. We've done a version of this where we sit at a big table and wait for people to sort of come and sit down with us, because the kind of people who will come and sit with strangers probably are open to conversation. We've stood near the bar You're probably going to see everybody there. Finding your strategic spot, as John says in the chat as well, like find your spot and receive people. So one of the things that that I find people struggling with is the sort of what next. So you're having a great conversation, and now it might feel awkward. It almost feels like you're asking someone out on a date. Like, what if I like them, but they don't like me? What if like, am I reading it right? All of a sudden, we turn into the nervous high school kid who's trying to ask the pretty girl to prom. So practice some easy ways to convert that conversation from this was really fun to I might like to get to know you better. So the first two things that are listed here are ways that you can stay in touch in a way that feels natural. So like I love Instagram and I love seeing what people post on Instagram. So it's really easy for me to just say, are you on Instagram? For you, that might be Facebook or TikTok, or there's a million places. But are you there? I'd like to follow you. Um, John says he likes to exchange contacts by touching iPhones. It's almost gamified, like watching that little ripple when you bump phones. And the number of people, sort of my demographic, who don't know that's a thing, they get giddy when you show them that you can exchange contacts like that. Notice I'm not saying shove a business card in their hand, right? There's a douchiness to like it feels like you're a used car salesman. You want to do something that feels natural. Can I get your email? I'll follow up with you about that book, that musician, that podcast, whatever we were talking about. It keeps the conversation going naturally. And then the two things afterwards, after that, are ways you can invite to do something that feels low risk, right? So I get the butterflies when I'm talking to someone I am enjoying, and I'm going to try and invite them on a one-on-one, like, let's go to lunch, let's go to a coffee date. It feels like the risk of rejection might be there. It might not be, but my like inner nerdy seventh grade girl feels it. These low risk ideas of this is something I'm doing with or without you. Would you like to join us? We're going to do this thing. Would you like to come? We're having people over, super casual. Would you like to pop by? Think about something that you are naturally already going to be doing, where it might be fun to invite two more people in. And again, that's an easy way to like bump phones and say, great, I'll send you the info on the light show at the Botanical Gardens. So think about your, whatever that is, easy follow-up. And it sounds really geeky, but maybe even practice that so that you feel natural at it. If you'd like more help getting ready for holiday parties, I'm your girl. I can also help you get ready for the 2026 you'd like to live, including adding more joy into your life. Lots of people come to me initially to talk about work. I take a very holistic approach because I think work should be a part of your life, not your whole life. I'd love to hear what of this you put into practice, what you were already doing, what you might try out, maybe as soon as this weekend. Drop me a note. My email's there, Colleen@newvinegrowing.com. And if you have any questions, I'm also available right now. Stay on for a minute or two. One final note, send a thank you note. Putting on a party can take a lot of work. And one of the ways that you're going to foster that relationship with the host is to acknowledge the work that they put in so that you can make these connections. I love snail mail, but a text or an email works as well. Our friend Maritza is great about She takes photos at every party, and as part of her thank you text, she'll send 6 curated great photos from your party. We always forget to take photos at our parties. So it's just such a lovely way that she's showing her appreciation. You can find yours, whatever that is. And so consider this my thank you note to you for being here. And I hope you enjoy those holiday parties. Have a great day.